For more great content, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell.
We just wanted to compete at like the highest level, not just like be this like token like female team.
But now it's a 1 versus 1. Can Rise get another clutch? But she's up against the clutch master herself of Annie Dro. Spy up the spam down to 76. Still going with the jiggle peaks and a shock dart to come out. 36 HP left. A fake up onto the tower. And Annie's gonna get the kill as there was no time at the same time. Cloud9 White wins this second map.
Valorant has its first Dynasty. A team unmatched in aggression, power, and confidence.
Katsumi is creating massive chances now. Oh, this is just absolutely disgusting. On for the ace, and of course, Katsumi locks in the ace. That did not look winnable. Katsumi turns it around.
A team that have dominated their competition, winning tournament after tournament after tournament.
There's the dash. Claudia wants to get close with this judge. Is she able to get it happening? No, Katsumi denies, but Chobo's back in it again with the Spectre. Alexis is waiting, lying in wait, but Chobo able to get it onto Alexis, but there it is. And Cloud9 win the VCT Game Changers. That's the second one for the second time without dropping a map against CLG Red. Unbelievable stuff. They are still the GOATs, Sean.
A team called Cloud9 White.
How are you guys so calm? First of all, I mean, congratulations to Cloud9 White on their second victory in Game Changers in a row.
Cloud9 White are an unstoppable force in the women's Valorant scene. In all of the VCT Game Changers series, they have yet to drop a single game.
Oh, the showstopper. Jazzykins, you were subbed out from that one, but no, she doesn't make it happen. She can make it happen with Colin instead, man.
How does that pay off? And it's actually a half buy that they had, but Naomi tries to stay alive. It doesn't work out. The defuse is going to come out for Cloud9, and they are the women's champion of the VCT Game Changers. Cloud9 White over CLG Red.
They did face challenges.
It literally came out of the blue, like overnight, everything changed for us.
It kind of started like a shit show in like the female scene.
But rose to each and every one of them. This is the rise of Cloud9 White. Before they were Cloud9 White, Jazzykins, Alexis, Katsumi, Annie, and Mel came together in June of 2020 to form a little orgless Valorant team called MaJKL. 2 years before the launch of Valorant, Mel had worked as an observer for CSGO tournaments, an experience that translated well into her job on MaJKL as in-game leader.
Honestly, observing is a lot similar to kind of what you would do in VOD reviewing when you're looking at the macro and like trying to highlight the macro and the micro at the same time, and just everything that's going on across the map you have to be aware of. And so watching the game, it just helps so much when you need to actually sit down and watch the game on your own, doing VOD reviews and stuff like that. And it really got me into VOD reviewing. I would just do VOD reviews for fun I didn't even compete in CS and at the time I wasn't, and I would just watch VODs of like MDL teams just for fun. And that definitely helped a lot.
But despite their individual talents, MaJKL did not immediately click on the server.
And I think in the beginning, it wasn't like we were like screaming at each other or anything. It was just like during scrims we would have different ideas, and we didn't have like a coach at the time, and so like players like would want to call a strat and we'd be like, no, that's not gonna work, blah blah blah. So we kind of just had to figure out like, okay, like how can we get through talking about what we're gonna do for the round faster, because we're like pausing for like 10 minutes to talk about these things. Like we need to just like get through it and like talk about it later and like figure it out.
Although MaJKL may have had their growing pains, they stuck together. And just 3 months after their formation, they made their way to the FTW Summer Showdown, Ignition Series All-Women Invitational, already as a squad to be reckoned with.
We didn't practice as much as we do now. I think we only practiced for like 4 or 6 hours a day at that time of MaJKL, because like all of our schedules were like we had school, work. We would just practice on our on the time that we were free.
And just like that, while Claudia does manage to get a pick off, there's a nice solid 2k for MaJKL. Match point is in action here. The showstopper comes out, doesn't manage to get anything in lamps, but they do know that the entirety of MaJKL is there. Rolling Thunder is going to come out as well, but despite the Rolling Thunder, MaJKL are able to clean up. They get the last 2 frags. They're gonna get the defuse if they stop trolling. Come on, Jazzy.
MaJKL tore through the competition. They won the event, but more importantly, earned the attention of a number of esports organizations, including NA esports giant Cloud9.
I mean, there were a lot of orgs interested in us, but Cloud9 was definitely the one that like really stuck out to us. Like for me, like Cloud9 has always been like the esports org. Like in my mind, when I think of like esports, like the Cloud9 logo is in my head. So when Cloud9 reached out to us, we were all like super hyped and super excited. Yeah, they had a lot of, like, they really matched our vision for the team. Like, we just wanted to compete at, like, the highest level, not just, like, be this, like, token, like, female team that was, like, there for clout or whatever. Yeah, they were willing to give us, like, a lot of, like the staff that we wanted and the time that we wanted, like, the ability to actually do this full time. So when they reached out to us, like, it was kind of an offer we really couldn't refuse, even though there were other orgs who were interested.
This made them the first all-women roster to be signed by a major organization, and with the support provided by Cloud9, the team strived to reach the next level under the moniker Cloud9 White. Soon, C9 White were scrimming and competing against any team they could, and developing a reputation for their confidence.
I think it's threefold. One, they are fearless. Like, you can tell by the way they enter onto a site, they execute, they even like start the game. Like, even the way they kind of run up spawn, you get the feeling when you watch this team that they are not scared of anybody. Like, they do not give a shit about anyone else on the server. They know they are the best, and they're basically just there to show off and be like, we know we're the best, and now it's time for you to know that we're the best.
Even with the changes in rosters, their default setup is the exact same. You hear the showstoppers come out as well. Marina creeping her way around, not able to land the shots as Cat holds fast. Alexis gets one as well. Cat gets 3, Cloud9 gets a 5. An absolute slaughter on B.
As the Valorant Champions Tour started up, C9 White brought in ace jet player Keiti on a trial basis, before eventually moving to a 6-person roster.
Hey guys, Keiti here. My game name's Keiti. I'm 19 and I'm excited to announce that I've joined the Cloud9 White squad for Valorant.
This addition significantly changed the energy and the play style of the team.
So when she joined the team, it was a really like great thing for me at that time. Like I was really excited about it. Keiti was a very talented player. She definitely was like that star duelist that like some teams like can revolve around that, and we ended up having to kind of do that while she was on the team. And she did bring a lot, like she was a really good player, but it kind of changed the way that we played as a team while she was there.
Because we kind of did just have to do, like if she wanted to play Jet on a certain map, we would all have to kind of role swap and sort of figure out what we need to do around her. Versus like, okay, this is the best comp that's going to work out for us. Keiti needs to play this agent, we all need to play these agents, and like that would be like the most comfortable. But that's not sort of like what we were doing. We were just kind of molding around what Keiti wanted to do.
With their new teammate in tow, C9 White ventured into Riot's new all-women tournament series, VCT Game Changers.
Hey everyone, I'm Anna Donlin. I'm the executive producer of Valorant, and today we are excited to reveal the VCT Game Changers program. This is an initiative designed to provide experience and a spotlight to elevate the women in the Valorant competitive community. Competing in games as a woman can be a daunting task, oftentimes resulting in a very real competitive disadvantage. And while we are taking steps to address this in-game, with improvements to things like chat and voice comms and griefing, we think there's another really cool step we can take with esports.
Despite the team's playstyle changing, their performance was just as powerful as the tournament win that got them signed in the first place.
Thankfully, a wall is up. The retake of a full player roster for CLG Red, but Mel is trying to hold her ground just by the wall. She takes down 2. Empress to come out from Bonita. A retake attempt as Mel gets a trip kill, finally gets stopped by Bonita. But now it's a 1 versus 1. Can Rise get another clutch? But she's up against the clutch master herself of Annie Dro. Spy up the spam down to 76. Still going with the jiggle peaks and a shock dart to come out. 36 HP left. A fake up onto the tower, and Annie's gonna get the kill as there was no time at the same time. Cloud9 White wins this second map, 13-11.
No, we were so confident going into it. I think too, we were the only female team that was playing against like, we were even like scrimming like tier 1, tier 2 teams at the time. And I knew that we were the only female team that was doing that. And I also knew that we were the only female team that was actually kind of getting like competitive results in like the co-ed tournaments. And so we were so confident going into it. We knew that nobody was like on our level just yet.
C9 White had burned through the field of newly formed women's teams and took the tournament flawlessly. And plenty of credit was given to the team's newest member, Keiti.
You want to see that pop off. You want to see this be an explosive round, an explosive LP. Here comes the raise. Oh, but can't make anything out of that. Oh, what a shame. It's Keiti. She doesn't miss. Look at the headshots raining down. It's a blue tsunami on your kill feed there. And all of a sudden, Keiti the carry, she's really going to take this nickname and absolutely run with it.
Oh, well, it means a lot, but honestly, it's kind of expected. I think, like, they, you know, like, they won the last one. We've had a lot of time. Every, like, other team is just forming, and I think I'm, like, a huge upgrade to the team, and I think I help improve it even, like, better than they were 3 months ago before I started. So I just think it's expected that we won and didn't drop a map.
But on April 13th, just a month after Keiti was signed, C9 announced she was released from the team.
Neither party has actually responded to our reach out for comment on this, so I will keep on covering it if we do ever get the reason as to why Cloud9 White has now removed, likely by a lot of eyes out there, their best individual player, that being Keiti, from the roster. Just days ago, they did part ways with her. No response from Cloud9 clarifying as to exactly why, as many people, rightfully so, were pretty surprised by this.
Days after Keiti's exit, a Valorant observer named Mel took to Twitter to explain that Keiti had threatened her with the release of material of a personal and sensitive nature.
The whole Keiti incident, everything that happened with her, that was the most challenging time for our team by far. It hit us all out of the blue. And like for me personally, I've known Keiti for like 4 years. Like I've known her for so long, like she's been a good friend to me, and I had no idea that she was capable of doing something like that. That was so just insane, like quite literally insane. And it literally came out of the blue, like overnight. Everything changed for us.
And of course, there was the lingering question of whether or not C9 White could continue to perform at the highest level without their ace.
After Keiti left, like we really did kind of have to like regroup. Like some people had been sitting out maps, like you know, like Alexis didn't play Haven, like Annie didn't play like Split. There was like maps that certain people weren't playing, and like having to bring them back after not scrimming them for a while, playing new agents was like definitely like a difficult and like a period that required a lot of work.
The team entered into several open qualifiers, using the experience to get back into their groove. And as Game Changers Series 2 qualifiers approached, they were ready to prove to the world that they still had what it took, and then some.
Whatever gets you the round win as Maddie looks to creep on through. Nanoswarm is going to push her right back into the garage, and as they push on, they just get pushed out. Maddie, the last one standing, and another flawless round for Cloud9 White.
At Game Changers Series 2 the following week, Cloud9 White absolutely slaughtered their competition. They burnt through the bracket and came out without a scratch.
There's the dash. Claudia wants to get close with this judge. Is she able to get it happening? No, Katsumi denies, but Chobo's back in it again with the Spectre. Alexis is waiting, lying in wait, but Chobo able to get it onto Alexis, but there it is. Mel to finish it off. Who better? And Cloud9 win the VCT Game Changers. That's the second one for the second time without dropping a map against CLG Red. Unbelievable stuff. They are still the GOATs, Sean.
C9 White were on top of the competitive mountain, and they made sure everyone in the server knew it.
Right now on the wall to work with Spike, landed directly across from her, but for Shopify they're playing.
Nice, jet slow.
My Lexi.
Oh my god.
Go, bitch!
That is
That's my bitch! Fuck, dude! Colin!
Literally the sexiest player. Literally.
It's just down to Ari. The 1v2 makes that a 1v1! And she gets it!
Okay, I'm gonna start this by saying I think I'm the one that started shooting bodies. I think that I'm kind of the one that brought that whole thing, all that energy to us. It kind of started like a shit show in like the female scene because there was people, we would shoot bodies in Game Changers events and like people were kind of getting tilted and bringing it to Twitter and stuff like that. And we kind of just were completely unbothered by that because like you see Sentinels doing that and no one's like crying about it on Twitter. You know what I mean? So we really weren't fazed by it. We just have so much fun doing it. And honestly, like when we play teams that do it back to us, it's even more fun.
Cloud9 White had proven they still had it, but their momentum wasn't about to stop there. In September of 2021, Game Changers Series 3 came around, and C9 White were going for the three-peat.
It's not even like, you know, with Sentinels, for example, again, they had a similar domination, even internationally. And going into Berlin, everyone's like, oh, can Sentinel win another trophy? But for Cloud9 White, they are going to win that trophy. For Cloud9 White, the question is, are they going to win that trophy by 13-0ing everybody? Or are they going to win that trophy by dropping a map here and there? So the narrative is completely crazy for this team.
Despite the fact that each team had months of preparation since they'd last faced C9 White, and it should have been the highest level of competition yet, no team could lay a hand on the champs. Like every tournament before, competition fell by the wayside one by one, until a sole challenger remained. A team that had taken a map off C9 once before, Shopify Rebellion.
I mean, something I didn't tell you guys about, because I was just going to save it for air. KP DM'd me last night, out of the blue. All she said was, tomorrow, new Shopify. Won't get smoked, I promise. So it goes throughout the entire team. Like, she never responded back to me, but she wanted to let me know. She wanted to let me know that this best of 5, they're going to put up a fight. And I believed them. I believe that they're going to come into this best of 5 with this nothing to lose mentality. And I'm very happy with how I've seen Shopify progress since the last time Dan and I saw them.
Shopify started off strong, taking an early lead in map 1.
There's some sound cues from 1. Running distraction is Mel. That is a distraction play. Laurie goes down, the crosshair placement. Not ready for Katsumi's position. Han with the wrap. And can she find a second? Oh, it's so good from Han.
But C9 White were just getting warmed up.
And she's going to see everyone on the site. I think Mel's going to be in a great position. She wins the battle. That's a huge frag from Mel. She follows up, and now it's a 1v1. And the defuse, it came in, though. Mel wasn't fast enough.
It felt like this grand final would end the same way each of the others had before it. Flawless domination by Cloud9 White. That is, until map 3.
Here we go, Laurie now making the dash through, trying to find her way onto the first pick. They're looking good right now. Shopify just have to find one more as Katsumi comes down to the 1v1. Laurie gets it, and that's going to be it. 13-11. Shopify have taken a map off of Cloud9 White in a grand finals. That has not happened before in Game Changers. They're making history in that sense, and they just beat Cloud9 White on Haven.
Cloud9 White had dropped a map for the first time at a Game Changers main event. But while Shopify may have bloodied their noses, C9 weren't going to take it lying down.
Although Flowerful will follow it through, but it's Panini that goes down in the trade. They can't afford to play the numbers game here. They have to find a way to get multiple kills. KP takes down Katsumi. Looking for the next one is Flowerful. Won't be successful. Up to KP once again. 1 versus 2 to keep them and their chances alive, but it's not. Their chances are gone. And once again, Cloud9 White are your Game Changers champions.
The hard work they put in is blatantly obvious when you watch Cloud9 White. They are the best at what they do. And again, they just reigned true throughout all of Game Changers. They got put up, a fight was put against them in the finals, but man, oh man, the team that Mel has led looks so, so good.
Cloud9 White finished out their three-peat with their most dominant map of the series, establishing themselves as the first dynasty in professional Valorant.
I don't feel like we've seen such a domination in we've never seen a domination like this in Valorant, like full stop, on any level when it comes to the major regions. But even for FPS games, like dynasties and domination and kind of just the way that they've been able to be the best for this long is so rare.
But for the women of Cloud9 White, the journey doesn't stop there.
Part of the reason is that our goal is not to be the best female team. We've never been like, okay, let's just work towards this, guys. Like, no, we want to be like the best team. And so I think because we aren't like selling ourselves short and only playing in women's events, we play in every event we can, all the open tournaments. I think that's sort of the reason why we became so big and became the best players in women's esports.